posh round here.
What's made Willie so successful? Me.
Done some egg sandwiches.
No, I'm alright.
I will never do. I swear that's part of it.
The wise words of Glenn Benson by the superstars of contracting.
Willie, this isn't your first day at GRASSMEN this year?
No.
No. And it's only the 24th of April.
It's normal enough down our way. Like.
Is it? I suppose we're in God's country, like.
Ah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Just outside Malyle here today.
You would have a few customers that would be keen to cut this early then, or?
There's a right few on at the minute. Quite a few on there.
Just
bit of
the
rain coming tonight, so it's gonna snooker it up like, but shouldn't be too bad.
So if the window was a bit larger, then you would have a few.
Oh, definitely.
Good few 100 acres ready to go.
I would, yeah. I would. Now next week, next giving it drier, so there'll be a few going then, hopefully.
You glad to see it back?
Yeah, I suppose, a wee bit.
I'm Samuel Steele. You're down at Rover Farm today here in Kirkcalban, down the Arch Peninsula. We're at grass today and we're spreading slurry today, and I'm Willie Steele's cousin, John Steele Son's cousin. I'm a dairy farmer with a bit of shiny paint syndrome, but we're milking about 560 Holstein cows and their followers too, so there's probably near over 1,000 head of cattle there. We do near 400 acres first cut, and I'm out here at my own slurry here today with our own outfit, as to say, our own umbilical system. Sometimes they're between Willie and myself there, we're very close as cousins, and we would help each other out quite a bit. So you would have seen me the other day driving the harvester for him there, so if he's stuck around, and he would phone me up, and if I'm free, I'll go and give him a hand, no matter what it is, drawing in or whatever, driving the harvester.
This here's some bit of cat.
Aye, rake, aye. Different. Definitely different now.
What made you go for one of these then?
A wee bit of the speed, we could do a lot of multi-cuts.
Yeah.
And you're running after no grass, the wooden big swords and stuff, And it takes the same diesel nearly to run around after them. We seen that there, went for sale second hand, and it looked brave and hard to get second hand, so thought I'd take a chance on it. And we had another Krone rake we never really used, so we traded it in for it, with a 1400. And what do you call it? We got it at the back end of last year. Time we got it in, the grass was rightly over last year,
Yeah.
So we got it, done it, tried it a few hundred acres, last year, and Corley does speed the thing up, like, and also carries very well over the ground.
Some size of tyre on that thing.
Yeah, I don't know what size they are. 800 or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know now. But no, it definitely is a big help. And whenever you're lifting, it's like going from the 30 foot to the 50, and then from the 50, it makes some difference. Like if you go back to the 50 foot, you can definitely see the difference on it. Whenever you're lifting behind it, like you're brave and sick, man. If you had to go back to the smaller one again, to get over the ground now, you're a lot quicker.
No, you have a big enough harvester for it anyway, like.
Well, we had the 950 lifting after too, like, back end of the year. But then again, the crops weren't that heavy, and it's the same multi-cut. You know, it's different. Maybe if you're in Fermanagh or something, I don't know if it would work that well. You know, but you can bring her well in. You know, you can. Should come into
I wouldn't be far off 50 foot whenever it's full.
Okay, I would come in further.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would come in further than that there. You can bring her right in.
How do you find her getting in places around here?
Not too bad actually. For it's nearly like, you know, the 30-foot rake whenever you're turning. So your axle steers with the axle steering there. With it steering, you sort of sets herself out round. You're out round the post or whatever. But it's the tail swing you just have to watch for.
And so do you notice much diesel saving in the harvester then compared to...
Oh, well, especially time, you know, whenever you take what time you're, you know, running after the weir sward. You say you take it.
You have a brave bit more turning to do then.
You have, and it makes some difference with the hours of the tractor and you know, the output of her. You're definitely putting in the more acres per hour with it, and that's what it was more about, getting everybody home a bit earlier, or putting in more grass. You know, going maybe just one harvester being out instead of having to take the second one out. If you could do that there.
Aye, because then you'd be saving man.
Saving hours, you know, and saving a whole outfit. Well, last year we were in one job, and it was 2 harvesters, 2 rakes. There was 3 for a while, and then there was 2, and all the tractors and trailers, you know, to go with it, and a couple of shovels and stuff. That's what put me in mind that it'd be better to do something, because it wasn't that big a job, but it took that much time to get it in. Whereas that there, or you were quicker lifting it, and you still always go with 2 anyway, 2 rakes, so it can still do the awkward fields or whatever you need to do, if I need to do it. If we can lift and get home an hour or 2 earlier in the day, well then that's a few hours off, like, so you have your depreciation for your harvester, and obviously diesel burning and stuff. The tractor's all the same, the hours for the men's all the same, so it all adds up to every few £100 an hour. So that there, you know, the extra money it costs to have that there, you only need to be out a day or 2 to save it. You know, every year, you know, it wouldn't take that many days to have her out to save your hours and your depreciation and tractors and that sort of thing, you know. So
am I right in saying that you didn't pay what you buy a new rake for one of these? Like, she wasn't as dear as a brand new 4-rotor? No, she was. The brand new rake was that was 75. I think a brand new rake, a brand new 4-rotor rake was it 95 or something? Something like that. I'm not just sure the prices. Like, it was dear enough, you know. Whereas it was obviously a lot cheaper. So basically, then this thing was cheaper than a brand new 4-rotor. The work done quicker, really. That's kind of the whole idea behind her. Then.
And there is less ground compaction too, like.
Aye, sure not.
Up and down the field, and then. You know, it's it's not really for first cut. If you're raking out from a hedge, you know. Yeah. And you're raking, say you're throwing it out with a 50-foot rake all the time, and then you come in with this the second cut. Well, you're moving your sword on across. Aye. So your harvester's not always in the same sword or the same
line.
Aye, yeah.
It's like what them boys in England do, where their tram lines and
they
stuff.
Move them, do they?
Basically they move their AV line maybe every year. Or
so it's bound to help out there too.
Yeah, especially in wet conditions like.
Yeah. Well, what do you call it? An ID plant there, and the boy was out last week and showing us the ground, you know, and what way the roots underneath the grass, you know. He was showing us then what ground compaction's doing. Okay. You don't notice just what you're doing a lot of the time.
Yeah. Until you see it.
Until you see it there, and it's ground compaction's a big problem, like. It would certainly help that.
Yeah, especially with the ground we work with in this country.
Well.
Sometimes it's hard to avoid, like.
Yeah, that's too. But no, I thought it would be good to try it anyway, and sure, worst case, we can always sell it.
I always say whenever Willie has a wee problem, see if Willie gets a minute or 2 to himself, it's dangerous because he thinks too much. He needs to be kept busy. The ideas and the things, he's got the ideas, he's got everything. The big rake he went on and on about it. I sort of thought, I'll hardly go for it. But then he said he had bought, and then next thing it landed, and there's a tight corner in our yard, and if I get right in that corner, I get right now. And so he brought it over to the tight corner. That was the first port of call in. Brought it over and got round the corner with the axle steer on it. Good job, well built, everything. I'm just at the 6 rotors scares me, and them sort of heavier crops. I think there's a lot of, if it's teared it once or twice and it's then flicked 3 times in a row, it's going to be pretty lumpy. But that later cut, that 4th, 5th cut, I think there's a place for it. And like, I see if you had the right man on it and got a season on it, I think the plenty of 2 and 3 acre fields in Northern Ireland, I think you'd be dead on. Like. From a dairy farmer's perspective, that's chomping over ground. Harvest is probably going at a slower speed, and it's probably nicer for drawing in from, because you're not bouncing around the field looking to gather grass up. At least if you go to a sward, at least it is a sward. How long she'll last, that bigness of her bumpy ground, it could, yeah. The sort of thing you would maybe need to change every 3 or 4 years.
Like, whenever they got her off the lorry, everybody looked at her and said, that's what was it, the words they used? A monstrosity of a thing. So, well, it was my idea, so I had to make sure it worked, like.
Yeah.
So I took her out.
You volunteered as tribute?
Yeah, well, I had to do something about the thing, like.
Yeah.
Like Braden Bad, so I went whenever Angus needed a hand, the raking, so I went down, and to be honest, it was dead on. Now the corners, getting used to the corners on hers, it's just with the steering, it's quite hard, like, when you get going.
So what made you go for this thing over the likes of a Merger or Krone's 1500, is it?
Well, we
Killen's had that time.
Well, I don't know, I never even asked for the price for 1500, but I suppose this in here goes out a bit further, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would do.
So we'll be bringing in a bit more. The Merger, we had a demo of a Ryder Merger, and the grass was sticky, and we had to see the cleaning of the grass underneath the bands and stuff. It was all jammed up, the grass in it, and it didn't do a good job for us. But saying that there, I'm not saying they're not a good job.
Yeah, just didn't suit yours.
Well, the price of it was the big thing to start with. And we only had the one rake at the time. Probably would have had something in for it, and it just wouldn't have worked. But whenever I seen this in here, I thought I had to try and do something anyway. It's not every day they would come up for sale.
That was just your sign to buy one, was it?
Yeah, well, but I like things different too sometimes. Different than what some of the rest of them are doing for the same, doing the same thing all the time gets the same results. So you need to do something different, to
give it a go.
Try and change things around, Well, there's plenty done thinks it's clean bad,
Aye.
That's all right. It's fine. They don't have to worry about it.
They're not using it.
No. As long as it speeds us up a bit, less compaction in the fields.
You're happy.
I'm happy enough, yeah.
So tell us a bit about John Steele Son then. Like when did you start contracting?
John Steele Son. John Steele was my granddad. He died away 35 years ago. And then what happened was the business name, the farm name was always John Steele Son.
Yeah.
Business name, So we kept that on whenever we were starting the contracting. Started the contracting 12 years ago now. A few quiet years, a lot of years where you had to go out and drive lorries and stuff, to make the payments on machinery. I didn't get a wage for many years, but it was what I wanted to do, and I always had that dream or whatever you want to call it, that it would maybe come to something. I suppose I'm still dreaming,
Yeah. The toys just keep getting bigger though.
Yeah, I suppose. It's not what it was all caught up to be, I suppose, everybody always say it's...
A lot of people chat about living the dream.
Well, I know, that's the... I don't know. If I didn't like it, wouldn't be at it, sure I wouldn't.
That's true. So
at
what point did you realise that you could make it work then?
At the start, I had fertilizer spreader, and 7530 fertilizer spreader, and one pass sower. That was it. And I got bits and pieces of work, a wee bit of power and fertilizer spread and stuff from a few friends and that sort of thing, you know. And then never done that much with them. And then Tinsley had a straw chopper, and they were very busy with, you know, in the winter time. And I thought that's what I need to do. So I got a straw chopper, gathered up. To be honest with you, I got a lot of work out of it, and it got me into a lot of yards I was never there before. I didn't know them, and that got me going. Don't think the same thing would work today.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Well, actually, when they sold their straw chopper there, like a month ago, what do you call it? There's barely any straw chopping now.
Right.
Down our way, the feeders do most of it on it. But it definitely got us started and got our name out there, you know.
You found your niche then, and
Yeah,
Sorta
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
took it around with it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't full-time either, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it was better than what I had it before.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a tanker. I did a tanker. A lot of contractors about, you know, and they were very good contractors, like. But they had to bring everything, do all the mowing, all that there, and I sort of thought to myself, there's bound to be a wee area there where I could save them money and then doing their own cutting and maybe drawing in a wee bit themselves and stuff.
Yeah.
So we bought a couple of chase tillers and a harvester, and then got a wee turn doing a wee bit that way. But then it just got out of hand then. And you know, whenever you see you can do a wee bit more, and you always look to do a bit. But they then started doing the work for the digester, and to be honest, that there helped, you know, for it was good acres. Alex was up there, and Alex got us to do all his work, and there was a great few acres out of it, so it sort of gave us, and then quite a few more customers come along then as we were going. Then McKelvey quit, and we got one of his customers that time too, and all them Corley helped, you know.
Yeah, it up like.
Aye, they all do, all add up eventually, so they do. But I don't think the same thing would work today. I don't think so. You know, I was glad I done what I done when I done.
When you did it, yeah.
But I really don't think the same thing would work. I would say it's a totally different
ball game
now. Like, yeah. You need to have everything now. You need to do everything.
Yeah.
You know, somebody else will be able to do it.
Yeah. That's
the thing. Unless you do all their story, unless you do, and you've every way of doing it, spreading it or whatever, and you need tankers and you need nurse tank and all that nonsense. Unless you do have all that there, somebody else will be in it, and they'll have the work away anyway. So you don't really have much of an option.
Aye, because you can sort of see where the farmer's coming from. Because why would you want to ring two different boys for
That's right.
10 or
That's right.
a few different boys
Yeah,
for a load of
yeah.
different
Organising it at the start, it did work a wee bit. You know, whenever I was doing, you know, and there was maybe a couple of self-employed boys with their own tractors and stuff. You know, they're only too glad to get a wee turn with you. But now there's not really that amount of people out there doing that. You know, there's not that many people self-employed boys with their tractors running about now, and that's what that's helped me a lot to start. You know, was able to hire in a lot of ones because it is far cheaper than having your own. Like, without a doubt, it's far cheaper than having your own tractors. If you can pull people in whenever you need them, because you don't need them all the time. Like.
No.
When Willie started out, with I think it was John Deere 7530, and I never thought it would take off this far now. He pushes on. One thing I'll say about him, he's not scared to get help in. That's one thing. There's a lot of contractors that want to keep it all bundled in themselves. Willie will lift that phone and he will phone till he gets help, and he will get that job done, and that's sort of what he nearly prides himself in, that doing the impossible, trying to get it done. And he asked for help. I would say, not being big-headed, I would say I'm his first phone call, and then we'll take it from there and see who we need. He's the only boy I know can get trailers gathered up at 11 o'clock at night for a long draw, and you think to yourself, you're going here this long draw and you're going to be beat, and you go into the field and there could be 15 trailers sitting and you're like, happy days, it's not going to be as long a draw as I think. And he doesn't mind phoning people up and getting a hand, and then they return the favour too, so he's good that way.
There's so many contractors down the Ards and stuff, and
Nearly more contractors than farmers.
there's none of them. There's none of them bad, like.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a core challenge. You have to not only you trying to get the work and all, but you have to keep up to their
Standard.
standard.
Yeah.
That's not simple.
I'd say the farmers absolutely love the competition
well,
around here.
There's not really, you know, it's not all about price either. Like.
Yeah.
And if somebody doesn't ring me, if they ring somebody else to get them to do it, they didn't want me to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
If they wanted me to do it, they would have rang me.
Yeah.
So it's not about price. It's not. It's about what they prefer, and there's normally more to it than just
Price.
price. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They might be friendlier with each other or whatever it might be. That's what I mean. Down our way, there's that many good contractors about. They've all got the best of gear.
Yeah.
Like, there's none of them bad gear. Like,
You just have to be better in other ways. Nearly.
well, you have to try your best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you're right and friendly with people, other contractors, and you're working with them, you're not going to take their work off them. You're better working together, like. But as far as that with Seawang is concerned, like, they send you rakes, trailers, one phone call, and you'd maybe get 5 trailers or 4 trailers. Like,
Yeah.
it's good, you know. And any breakdowns or anything like that there, no bother. They'd work all night if they had to help you. You know, that's just them.
That's just ideal. Like.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm glad to have that relationship with them. Like.
Yeah.
So, and then sure there's John Wilkes there, he got that 4,000 rake there and he wanted to try that today. So he's
Trying away.
He's out there raking a bit.
Down the Ards is very close and everybody knows everybody's doing, and I always said I would hate to be a salesman down the Ards Peninsula because if you opened your mouth wrong in one yard and said what the other guy was doing, it's so everybody knows and everybody talks. So yeah, they're better. They paddle their own canoe, but that's one thing I had to say about Willie. He does. He phones the boys that he knows that'll give him a hand, and he'll get the job done. Like, you know.
And then you have made another few changes since the last time we were here. You were running that John Deere, and you were running an older class, weren't you?
That's right. You'd 70, yeah.
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 What's the setup now for the whole silage outfit?
Well, we traded that class in, 870 in, and bought a second-hand 950. Was there 1,600 hours on it or something? 1,700 hours on it? Tidy, very tidy yoke, like. So we ran her for the maize, and then the whole crop header not fit now, you know.
Yes.
We bought a second-hand whole crop header. Was that what do you call him? Mackay's old one. I bought his whole crop header, so and that'll go on the John Deere. It's for maybe a bit of better chop quality. Well, it's for the digester, really. You know, a lot of it's for the digester. Well, there's a 36 knife drum in class, 34, whatever it is. And but there's only half set in her, so we can't put more into her. But the chop quality for the John Deere, I would always have said, was better, especially for AD. Reliability, class has it. Definitely class has it. But backup, John Deere, any day of the week. Any day, John Deere, no, them Gilpins, they do anything. They actually would, like. Anytime, 24/7. But the class, you wouldn't need them as much, you know what I mean? That's why I have both.
First harvester driving, I've been sitting in with different ones for years. Brian Horner probably mostly for years. Willie had the 850 class. One night he phoned me up. He was been going the right way, and he phoned me up and went round to, I think it was Harry Turtle's. I can't mind just a year ago what year it was, but and he left me in a field with nothing but power cables and wet bits in it, and told me to work away. And he came back, I think, told me it was going to be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. He came back 3.5 hours later. So drove that 850 class. I've drove his 870 class. I've drove a 970. I've drove his 88 John Deere harvester. I've drove his 9.7 John Deere harvester. He's currently in the 9.7, so yeah, I went over to and he bought the 9.7. John Steele took us over to Langer to learn all about her and whatever, so it was a good bit of experience, and yes, nice thing to drive. A machine of choice. They have different pros and cons. I think now John Deere has got itself sorted out with its header, but the John Deere, I probably like her probably the best, but the 970 and that 950 now, well, he's got now too, I drove it too. It seems to be a good harvester too. I don't think there's a bad harvester. I think they've all got different things. I've never drove Brand's harvester, but I would say the Krone can blow grass like too, so there's three there, and you take your pick any of the three, and I am John Deere loyal. I do like my John Deeres, and I don't know whether Willie said it or whatever, but the backup is everything. You can't beat Johnson Gutman's backup. That's one thing about them. They're all the same when you stuff them. I do plenty of stuff in them, by the way. It seems to be I'm the only boy that gets to go to the wet or rough ground. I seem to get that there, so I do plenty of stuffing at them. If there was a tally, you would be able to. I would definitely win it. That's probably the worst thing about the John Deere. She would stuff very handy. The class maybe wouldn't just stuff as quick. I don't know. I just like the size of the cab in the John Deere. Just as me being a dairy farmer, like I like the bulkiness of her, and just the sort of she can go on too. Like when that demo had her out last year, and like she could boogie. Like there were real heavy stuff there, and William actually phoned me and said to me, he says, "Come around here." He said, "You're not going to believe this." And I was doing my own work. I don't know what it was, and I went around and felt about 8 load with her. And William told me when he got out of the cab, he says, "Stick full forward." He says, "You'll see how she goes." I says, and I was waiting on stuffing her, and no bar. The bar was, the trailer men weren't used to it. So I hope now he's got this new header coming, so I hope now that he's able to, that she performs. You know, the header's the thing that's holding her back. So I think she's going to be even better harvester when the header comes. I did one night in the 950 got there at the back end of the year. That the smaller joystick was just getting used to it was the problem. But here I would say at the end of the day, it probably, if you had a day or two on her, it should be dead on. And by the end of the night, it was sort of half flying on her and she was dead on. It was, you know, the big stick. Like I honestly probably think the Krone probably has it at the top. You see that arm back and forward all day, and like our fields aren't as big, so you're in a nice big field, probably stick full forward or 3/4 forward and let her tick over and up and down. But sure, in these fields over here, sure you're no longer forward to your brown or back again. There's a lump or something stuck in there. For chopping down for that digester, or for any digester probably, I would think when you're chopping it down that fine, it can make a small harvester, any big harvester, like, you know, and I suppose it depends on the quality of grass, but I suppose it's not fair, like for like. You're not able to compare the 950 to the 9.7, but there was a wee funny story one time. There was a Krone 630 came down, and I was in the 88, and I sort of had to storm by it. That came as a demo, so I sort of had to go by it. So and that was at the digester, and that was chopping fine. So
it wasn't bought then.
So it wasn't bought, no. But
the rest of your silage outfit, like what's in it? Like what trailers you're on? What mowers you're on?
Cane silage tillers and Hearn silage tillers.
You like a bit of both?
Aye, well.
You like the blue and yellow anyway.
Aye, well, they're only really to match the cane, like, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, what happened there was the cane tillers couldn't get them whenever needed. You get a Hearn, no bother. So got the deal with a Hearn. Ended up with two that year. I got another one then. Got another Hearn there Christmas time there.
So you like the Hearn then?
Aye, they're silage tiller. Sure, do the same job, don't they? Like, the canes now, there's nothing wrong with the canes either. They're a good job. So there's nothing wrong with it, with it.
There's not much bad products in the market these days.
No.
Especially when it comes to silage trailers, the amount of competition they have. Like.
Rightly sort. It's all down to price now, isn't it?
Yep.
Not there again very too.
And then the mowing side, you're on two mowing outfits, really?
Aye, well, with butterflies on a Krone butterflies on a 250 John Deere. front and backs, John Deere front and a class back on, you know, push and pull, you know.
Yeah.
We'll have it on the 155. We'll have the big M now, a second hand big M, which is a 420.
That only come this year, didn't it?
Yeah, first day out yesterday, I think it was. So it was.
What do you reckon of her? It's a good machine.
It's for smaller fields and stuff, you know. I think it's a great job, you know, getting in and out, and you're not missing wee bits and stuff. Second hand big M wouldn't be really what you'd be looking to buy, but she was Andy Angus there. He owned her, and he's very, very fussy man when it comes to mowing. Like, that would be the only big second hand big M I think you'd ever want to buy.
Yeah.
Give her a go anyway and see how it goes.
So you'd be a fan of second hand machinery then?
Oh yeah, mostly second hand.
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah.
What's your thoughts behind that? Do you just buy as you need, or
Can't afford new stuff.
right?
Will that be it? It's not that I can't afford it, just can't justify it.
Yeah.
Like the tractors and all, like I've never had a new tractor.
Right.
It's always been second hand, you know.
Yeah.
Harvester now it was new. It was 9700. She was new, but I had a bad harvester to get rid of, you know. So that's why she come, you know. So no, apart from that, there, like say a trailer or tanker or something would be new, power and that sort of thing. Like, but whenever it comes to it, I like to try and all the second hand stuff in the car. If it does the same job. If it is a troublesome old thing, so you can get a brand new one that's troublesome too, you know? So you can soon get rid of her if you needed to.
My name is Mark Patton. I've been working for Willie Steele for about 3 years now, coming into my first season. Do a lot of slurry work, a lot of tanker work, a lot of trailer work too. And then there's a separator as well, so been out in her right bit too, but there's plenty to keep us going like. No, I'm not the main man in the separator, no. Ryan, he would do right bit of the separating like, and then me and him would sort of share it between us. Been away to Aberdeen and all with her and bring all over the country with it like. Seemed to be a good job. Everywhere I've been has been happy enough with it like, and they've done their job like. They're taking the solids out of the slurry and reducing the level in the tank, and then it gives you your solids and then the more liquid, the separated slurry, you know. So they've definitely higher quality slurry coming out of the separators, you know. They've better stuff for the double bars and stuff they've handier work with like for the pipe systems. All in the separating, I do a lot of tanker work, pumping, just a lot of slurry work so there is. And coming in now at the grass, a lot of trailer work, buck raking. We do have our own designated tractor like, but last year's 250, it's the big one. She's usually on the triples or doing the heavier work, but we tractor of mine, she's at the maze drill there at the minute, there's another band driving it, so took her out on here today. She's Command Pro, just work her off a stick, or you can use her in the foot throttle. Prefer the foot throttle for loading inside the harvester like. She's roughly 300, maybe a bit more than 300 horse the time Lilburn was at her. She's a good going tractor like. You wouldn't know how 18-ton trailers on behind her. So we work with Kane on her and Silage trailers. Kane is probably still a superior trailer like, but it's Kane like, isn't it? They're nearly all really the same really like. Kane would be finished better I think coming out of the factory. They'll come far better finished than what the Hearn would, but Hearn's a good trailer too, steady. Both of them they're very, very, very equal, so they are. Hearn would be a wee bit heavier in the way bridge empty like, so be a wee bit heavier built, but apart from that, they're right and similar like. You always need a good team of lads with you whenever you're out working long hours in the tractors. You always need to have the crack there, but you always need to have the serious head too. It's big kit, luck could go wrong very quick. So you need to have that, there's fine border between the crack and the seriousness like, but it takes a crack like, you need to have a bit of crack or you wouldn't bat this job like. We have a great team of boys here, so there's a great team of boys. You all get a bit of abuse like, but you need to keep that at them by to keep them right like.
Cameras have not started rolling yet, don't worry.
Hey Jason, you on there, boy? We're going to have to get you a new nickname, boy. We're not allowed to say your nickname on camera.
No swearing, no swearing. I want to make this good. You need to talk really slowly so that you don't make a mistake and say the wrong words.
Like the wise words of Glenn Benson, boy, the superstars of contracting.
I wonder what way this works whenever you're eating your dinner. to hear all the.
You start a Fendt review podcast in the cabs here, all these cameras.
Come on, Sammy. Now, come on, we're on camera.
Sammy Stuff living up to his reputation.
Right, stop making fun of him. Look, he's sweating. His hand's sore. Is he hand sore?
Is your hand sliding off the joystick? That much sweat, or what's wrong in there, Sammy?
It's the sweat and the excitement that's all getting to him.
Thanks for carrying.
Oh, Sammy Stuff!
Why did you not let him in? And then he seen the camera and he ran off.
Right, Connor, give that thing the bit, boy.
I bet one crisp out of that. One single crisp.
Go ahead, you baby. I think Swans fell asleep down there.
Stalled her.
He stalled it there for an hour, I think.
They was turning the key the wrong way.
End of the road, Swanee. Oh, Jason there. It's weird saying his name. Jason, you can work with a lot more than just a sandwich, boy.
I can't honestly tell you whether I've actually called him Jason before or not.
I honestly don't think you have. Is that even his real name?
We're not allowed to say his real name because apparently it's offensive or something.
If I said his real name, the whole video would just be a constant bleep.
His name's a piece of hair found on the body in the southern hemisphere. Don't cancel me. Oh wait, whoa, 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 whoa! You had your indicator on there. See, you put your indicator on, it means that you're full. Just give me a heart attack this night. Do you want a sandwich here? I could spare you.
Wait, what sandwiches are they like?
Egg.
Oh, I think I'll pass.
Honestly, no, I insist, boy, I insist.
No. I might. Do you make them yourself?
You still get out doing plenty of work then, or are you too busy on the phone a lot of the time, or?
I'm on the phone all the time, sometimes half rubbish, but no, I still get out. No, I get out a lot. You have to.
You haven't got to the stage then where you can't find the time to get out at all?
No, not that busy. No, we're a bit off that yet. No, whenever it comes to that stage, don't think I'll bother.
Is
that cut back?
So the time you can't get time to go out in the machine, that's when you've got too much work then? Yeah?
Yeah, I think that would take the enjoyment out of it altogether.
So you still enjoy getting out in the machines then?
Oh, I love getting out.
It's kind of the whole point of it, isn't it?
Oh, it is, that's why I don't. You know,
Yeah.
It's not because, because there's not a big pile of money out of it.
Yeah.
But I've done it because I enjoy doing it. I used to work spudding on Derek Irwin there for a couple of winters and stuff, or back in autumn. And then I worked Angus's too for a few years. And that's what I want, I love that. Like, there's a lot less pressure working with somebody.
Aye.
Oh, if I had known, I'd just maybe stayed where I was at. Sure, we all do these things, don't we?
Yep. So basically driving to a contractor, you just decided you wanted to be a contractor?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
What's made Willie so successful? Me. No, I'm only joking. Well, a bit of it. I'll take a wee bit of praise here. Willie's attitude to work. Willie didn't do much tractor work whenever they were milking cows. They were milking cows at home years ago. He did the diet feeding and I think did the fertilizer store. And he went and worked to Porter and Angus and anybody after that there. He had his few different businesses there, diggers and things. And his attitude to work is get up, get it done, and get out of your bed in the morning and get it done. No, that's making him successful, and the rest is all fitter. But thinking he's already thought about it and it's already in motion. You had to be the first. Them sort of things that you had the Chester and different things. You had to be first in everything. and if you're not first, you know, no point going in last. You don't win. So he's first on everything. Say that big rake. He's willing to give it a try. He's a trier. That's what he is. That's probably the better word for Willie. He's a trier. He'll try anything. He'll give it one go, and if it doesn't work, it'll be out, and he'll move on to the next thing.
So you enjoyed your past 12 years?
Yeah, it's been tough times too, like.
So what's the best bits about the job then?
Getting out to do it.
Getting out to do
Getting
it?
out to do it, aye.
Yeah.
Best bit of the whole lot. If you could do away with that out paperwork and stuff, you know.
You'd be happy enough.
Oh, aye. If you could do away with that now, you'd be flying.
Aye, so best bits, a day like this where we're beside the sea,
That's right.
the sun's shining.
Yep, everything's
then-
nice. And then turn that out phone off.
Yeah, turn the phone off.
Yeah.
Aye, so the future then, you wanna find yourself enough work that you can keep working, but not enough that you have to stop and answer the phone full time.
That's right. If you can do that there, we're flying.
Yeah. Is there a dream size you'd like to get to then, or?
I don't know, just keep going, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just while I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. The problem is, the bigger you get, then you're dependent more on people to do it right, and then your quality of work maybe isn't as what it should be. That's what I'd be worried about. You're sort of spreading yourself thin, you know.
The minute you're happy out then.
Oh, aye. Happy enough. Can't complain.
I do enjoy the contracting side of things. We at home, whenever me and Thomas the brother we left school on Greenmount, we had about 120 cows. My dad told us he would support the both of us. Normally it's the oldest son gets it, but my dad, he never really liked that style. It wasn't the way he was brought up, and he told us he would support us in whatever we wanted to do. And to get us a wee bit more, I went and drew in for Angus's. I went and worked there for a few summers and different things, and we bought tethers and we went out to, we had a rower at the start. We used to row for Brian Horner, but then he bought his own rower, so then we went tedding, bought tethers. Today we have 4 tethers now. We don't do half the acres we used to. We did that with 2 tethers back in the day, me and the brother. But just, I don't know, just that's getting the way out and getting your head showered. And I like the parlour too, don't mind it. Cows is the bread and butter. They pay the bills. None of them tractors bought any land or top the bank balance up too much. It's the milk check. So, but they're here for a purpose to make that all come in together and make it all work. We do like doing our own. Like ours today, if I had to wait on either Willie or Brian Horner to come and do my slurry, Willie has enough work ahead of him there for the next week, I would say, before he could get a tanker on, and I think Brian's much the same too. So I've about 50 acre done the other day spread, and the day's not over yet, and tomorrow we'll get the pit covered and we'll go hammer and tong at the slurry. And I like getting work done. I like trying to make money, and I like getting the work done. Don't like doing too much scrap. I like having good kit to go out and do a job. There is plenty of scrap in the yard, but and people might say the green things are scrap, but still, yeah, we like getting on with our own work too, getting work done. I probably would have a lot more done today if these 2 boys are driving about the field, keep me back and driving over my pipes and stuff. And the other day too, in the harvester too, pull me back. That stick had to pull it right back, so I had to. So. Wasn't the lumps.